Alright, so I already shot an intro on this, but we're just going to start walking around my food forests and gardens with this pollinator wildflower mix, and we're just going to sprinkle some a bit of everywhere. So, start off with, there's a sunflower, there's a bunch of squash, and my Siberian pea shrub. You can see there's some mulch all around the bottom of it. It's going to kind of just toss some of this everywhere. I'm gonna walk around more up towards the center here. Again, just dump it around. I'm gonna do that in a few other places. Let's make a cut and I'll show you the next spot. Howdy everybody. Here again, this one is right where I have my bee balm, all these potatoes. I'm gonna harvest the potatoes, which will kind of till these seeds in this fall. So I've still got to harvest these potatoes. I've got that big log there to slowly break down into fertilizer. It's a chestnut tree. I'm just gonna sprinkle. Yep. Especially up against this log, no one's really gonna be worried about mowing it, so just make sure I sprinkle a little bit on each side of that log. The rain should rinse that down into the soil just fine. And right behind it, I'm thinking about moving this tree, but I'll still give a little toss of seeds right there. I don't have mulch laid out over most of this part of the food forest, so it would just get mowed down mistakenly. So I'm gonna cut here and head to a spot where I know I have enough mulch to plant them. See you in a moment. Here we have another one of my food forest islands. This one is a serviceberry or a Juneberry. I recently did some weeding here, pulled up a couple of chicory stalks. So I should be able to use this opening I've made and just dump a little bit of these seeds right over it. So that's sort of the goal here. Any spot I've been weeding or working on, any spot that's a little bit bare, just throw some of these in. Can't hurt anything. I'll be back in just a moment in another spot. Alright, over here we have my hugel culture mound. Looks like I've had some pest pressure going on my tomatoes in here, but they're doing alright. And there's a lot of weed pressure all over the place. So I'm just going to come in here and put a little bit of work in, just scattering some wildflowers. Right there's some wildflowers I did this with before, just a packet of wild bergamot. Right in here, just a little toss. Again over here, this is kind of a weedy spot, but maybe when I come in and weed it, that'll knock some of these seeds down further into the soil. And then right as I walk away from it, I hit an older and pretty beautiful lilac. It's sadly not in bloom right now, but I've shown before I plugged in this daylily right here. There's an asparagus. So it's got a couple other things growing already, so it can't hurt that much for me to just kind of toss a little around. Just like that. And then from there, I can walk over to where I have my quince tree. I only have one quince tree right now. It's growing quite well and it flowers beautifully, but I haven't seen it even try to bear fruit. Huge amount of asparagus growing around it though. Here's the quince. It's been eaten up a little bit by the Japanese beetles, but it's making an alright comeback. I'm just gonna toss these down in. They're getting caught in that hosta leaf. So let me just kind of knock that around. That'll probably send them flying all over. But right in here, just a few spots, just toss in seeds, fertilizer, all of it in one. I'm not terribly worried about the fertilizer, but it is what it is. Can't hurt anything. Not in what little amounts I'm spreading. let's give you all a pause and we'll head to the real big food forest areas. All right, here we are next to one of my two beautiful jujube trees. Right there's a Joe Pye weed I transplanted in from Richters. This perennial sea kale back there. I'm just gonna again just sprinkle them in and move along. As I move along, right over here I've done a lot of weeding lately, tried to fight back some of the grass that came up through. I'll just shake some on. Right in there is one of the trees I'm growing, so not down the tube, but next to it I'll sprinkle a little. And just bit by bit, down here I planted a little bit of stuff, so I had to pull the stuff aside. Right over here, we have some nasturtiums and a variegated, what's the word? Rose of Sharon, variegated Rose of Sharon. And over here I put in some work trying to tear up some of these thistle. So again, I'm just going to sprinkle in this big space I made where there's a little less pest pressure. Walk right back out again. Just anywhere that I see a good looking spot, I'm just going to be sprinkling them. Just a little at a time, little in each spot. Same here next to my gummy berry. As I keep walking, did a lot of weeding here, so again, sprinkle. So many spots that are just kind of needing new stuff put in. Right here, I did a video recently on installing some blanket flowers. The area needs some more fresh wood chips put on, but it's looking pretty good. The blanket flowers are all going to seed, but they don't look unhealthy otherwise. That gummy berry's finally come out the top. There's a marl root I got from Richters, and right there, prickly pear, cold hardy eastern prickly pear. Right over here is one of my medlar trees. Just gonna shake in a little bit of this stuff around it, just a little bit, and keep moving. Gonna shake just a tiny bit on one side of that aronia bush, and that's pretty much just all we're doing. Is we're just any spot that I've marked one way, one reason or another, I'm just coming along and sprinkling a little bit of these wildflower seeds next to it. Here's another spot that's got a lot of potatoes I'll have to harvest, but in the meantime, that just might mean that I get the seeds kind of dispersed a little bit later on. I just kind of dump that around in a big circle. Oh, I'm seeing these beetles. Never seen these beetles before, but I'm starting to see them this year. They're large shell, kind of a black body on them. Let's see, there's one. Yeah, I've never seen them before, but I'm starting to see them this year. There's a couple of them on these potatoes. But these potatoes don't look too chewed up, so I don't know. Got no idea if that actually is a problem creature or not. But we're gonna move on. Just all sorts of spots that I can throw wildflower seeds. Spot's a little bit busy. There's a lot of raspberry here and a lot of comfrey, but can't be that bad for it to have a little wildflower seeds thrown in. We'll just keep moving along. The garden's kind of a mess. I've been multitasking a little too hard, I guess. But, you know, I'm sure I will eventually get things cleared up. A lot of the trees and stuff seem to be doing just fine without the constant attention that, you know, would keep things looking nice, but I don't think the trees care that much about things looking nice right now. So, got through all this stuff. Let's go along this area real quick. Just bit by bit. Yep, just bit by bit, pouring it on everything. Alright, I feel like I've spread a pretty good amount of this stuff around. I'm going to take a pause, move to some further back parts of the gardens. Alright, I'm back here on my Apios americana trellis, or Hopness, American groundnut. A couple names for it. But this is a great plant. I'm not sure if the wildflowers will be able to make it under here with all this shade, but can't hurt to just toss in a couple. Just like that. Should be more than enough. Sorry, I'm dropping the bag. It's starting to get so empty, but yep, just threw some more wildflowers in there. We'll see how they go. These vines are running out of places, honestly. So, honestly, I'm starting to wonder if I need to build another trellis, because these are quickly becoming a favorite food source of mine. And they're very healthy. 3 times the protein of a potato. I have a lot of videos on them, so if that interests you, please check them out. It's one of my favorite plants by far. And I will, I'll probably make one more cut. I've got some seeds left, and I'm sure I'll find spots for them. Alright, here's one of the few trees way out back that I've given a mulch ring to. Seems like everything I've planted in here just hasn't made it. Except for the tree, of course, but all the little plants I've put around it, I don't see any sign of them now. So I don't think they made it. I'm just gonna give a healthy dose of these wildflower seeds, and maybe they'll make it then. Pretty heavy dose right there. And we'll move along, because I've got a couple other spots out here that also have at least somewhat of a mulch ring. Right over here, looks like that comfrey is coming up from the roots in a couple spots. It might not be ideal, but I'll have to deal with that later. Cut back the comfrey somehow. But yeah, there's a couple spots that I can probably shake a little bit of this in, shake a little bit of this in. That one's got a Monarda that I transplanted in that's still looking healthy. So I walk over here. This one's got a comfrey that looks real good. Looks like the chives I transplanted in next to it are still good. But I'm not seeing a lot else signs of life. So I'm just gonna give it a shake. Never know what's gonna come out of it. And I'm gonna give you guys one more cut. We're gonna end up on the chestnut tree that I first planted. We're gonna sprinkle stuff all around it. So see you in a moment. All right, everybody, here we are with that first chestnut tree I ever planted. I filmed me planting this one, went through it step by step. I've transplanted a few other good herbs and native plants in this area. It looks like pretty much all of them, if not all of them, have failed. So I'm going to shake a ton of these seeds out here and just hope for the best. Hope that this ends up sort of an island of life. Good spot for all the wildflowers to start from. It's a spot that's hard to accidentally hurt them. There we go. Got a little bit left. I may just sprinkle on fence rows all the way home, but there we go. If you want to see how this works out, you're gonna have to subscribe and watch me for the next couple years. Consider liking the video, comment on anything you want to see next. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video as soon as I can. Goodbye, everybody.